What up, guys? Some of you guys asked me to do a boat tutorial on, or not a boat tutorial, a boat review on how I have my boat set up. And first thing is, I have a lot of money put into this boat. I didn't do it all at once. I kind of gradually did it until I had it how I wanted it. Um, so I'll take you through from the front and how I kind of did things to the back. And if you guys like the setup, just give it a thumbs up. And if you got any questions, just write them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get back to them. Let me take you through to the starting with the front. Now, when I bought this boat, I bought it as just the bare frame. I'll put a picture up of it, but it was ugly ass brown. There was dirt all over it. It had been sitting outside, and it was nothing pretty. I mean, it was just the bare shell John boat. Nothing, nothing special. Um, the length of this boat is 16 foot. It was made by Skeeter, which G3 aluminum boats started. They designed the boat for Skeeter for 4 years, from 2000 to 2004, I believe. So yeah, this is a 16 foot. Maximum horsepower that can go on this is a 25. And I think the weight capacity for it is like 1,500 pounds maybe, with gear and everything. So I'm pushing that limit right now. I've been having a lot of problems with the trailer lately. I've had to fix some things on that. So next thing I'll do is get a new trailer, but until I can afford that, I'll keep what I have and just keep working on it. But all right, so starting at the front, this deck right here. The guy still had this deck to come with it, but it wasn't carpeted or anything like that. It was just basically the bare deck. So the first thing I did was put this deck back in. It's got there's some reinforcements underneath of it. There's 4 of them underneath. And then this kind of came out underneath of this. It came out really long down and across. I had to cut through it to put this in. But I added the rod holders. I put 1 on each side, and I can usually fit about 8 rods on there. Right now I only have the stuff that I needed this week. Trolling motor, I went with the Minn Kota Edge 65. I had a 55 before this, and it just wasn't enough power, so I moved up to the 65. I was basically in wind. I was screwed. I couldn't move anywhere. This one handles just fine. I mean, I can pretty much, it can be windy as hell, and I'll still be fine out there. So trolling motor, I went with the 65 Edge. And then I have the Lowrance 7-inch up front with downscan imaging. It's a GPS chart plotter, everything it comes with. I got everything on it. So I got the 7-inch screen on a ram mount. Trolling motor, this is important too. The trolling motor I have rigged to an outlet right here. If you don't rig it to an outlet like this, it's going to be drawing power all the time, unless you have an on-off switch for your batteries. So I'd recommend putting one of these in. So I have the plug, a mount. This mount came with the boat too. I just added that and then mounted it to here. And every once in a while I have problems with the trolling motor kind of coming loose, so I bolted it down with 6 bolts up front, and I haven't had a problem since. So I have the trolling motor, the electronics up front. I put this deck in, the 2 rod holders. And then the recessed foot pedal, I used it for a while without the recessed foot pedal, and it was a pain in the ass. I mean, every once in a while you turn and almost lose your balance and fall off, so that's important too. It has a drain in the bottom of it. You can't see it from here, but it's underneath this foot pedal right here. The recess is made out of aluminum, so it's sturdy. It's not going anywhere. Reinforced with 6 bolts. These go all the way through to the bottom too. They're about 3 inches long, I guess. And then I have this is for a butt seat. My butt seats are sitting around here in the garage somewhere, but I take it out because it's unless it's really rough out, I can get away with not using it. So I just take it out because I stand most of the time. And then up front also I have 4 Rigid Industries LED lights. I can control them from I added it to a switch down here. I can just turn them on and off whenever. The strip LEDs are the blue water LED type lights, and I started with those, and some of them just kept burning out, and it was just more of a pain in the ass, so I just spent the extra money and got the Rigid Industries ones. They're lifetime warranty, rugged as hell, and they're bright. I mean, you can see them from a mile away. So I have 4 of those up front. Some of the LED strips I still have on there. I just haven't taken them off yet. And then also up front I have my up-down for I have 2 power pole micros. For those, I have the foot pedals for up and down. It made it a lot easier. Like if you had a fish on or something like that, you didn't have to reach around for the clicker around your neck. You can just tap them with your foot. It makes it a whole lot easier. So I think that's it for the front. Like I said, the paint was an ugly brown, and I repainted it black first, and then I went with this more like metallic gray, flat black. It's got some little metal flakes in it and stuff. Pretty cool paint. I went with that this year. I might end up changing it again, but for now it's good. It takes a really long time to paint it. So when I first started, I only had this front deck, and there was a gap in between from here to there, and I kept saying I wanted to do something, right here, down from the step there. That way, I like when I'm fishing with buddy tournaments and stuff, I like for both of us to be able to fish up front, and the deck just wasn't long enough. So I added this winter. I did this with wood. The front deck is aluminum. This is just I just did 2 strips here, carpeted it, 1 strip there, 1 strip here, and then I did hinges on that one for so that I could still get underneath for storage. That way I have the entire front deck underneath. I have for storage. You can lift that up, life jackets, spinnerbait box, some plastics up under there, and there's plenty of room up under there. I also have lights up here, down here too, so I can see. Pretty much you can go as far back as you want with stuff. Just keep them for storage. This is my battery for my aerator pump for my live well, my LED lights, my front and back electronics. Yeah, I think that's it for up front. Oh, you know what? One more thing up front I gotta show you guys. So on my trolling motor, this is a product from R2 Marine. It's called an eliminator, and instead of having your prop nut and bolt, you can really quickly take this off, unscrew it, and get to your bolt to change your prop really quick if you bust a pin or something like that. And all of us have busted pins. I mean, it happens. When you hit a rock or something like that and it bends the pin, you can just quickly pull the boat out, pull this off, put a new one on, and you're good to go. It's anodized aluminum, and it adds a little bit of color to your boat too if you want to put something cool in there. They have all kind of different colors. It's made by R2, the Eliminator. What it does is it has a rubber O-ring on the end of on the back of this piece. It has an O-ring on there that it kind of dulls any kind of vibration, or if you're feeling vibration in your foot pedal from your trolling motor, it's either your prop or something else along with the prop shaft, maybe a bent shaft or your prop. But adding this really helped. It makes it quiet in the water. It has no vibration, little to no vibration at all. I can't feel any vibration in the pedal. You can't hear it. It's great. I think it's like $60, so it works good for what it is. Just adding a little bit of extra bling to it, I guess. The Lowrance is on a ram mount. I might change that eventually. The ram mounts are all right. I mean, they kind of, if you're in rough water, they bounce up and down a lot and kind of knock your electronics loose, but they do the job for now. In my live well, I'm not sure the size gallon tanks I have that's in here, but I have an aerator there, and then it holds plenty. I mean, I've had 20 pounds in here before, and it holds it just fine. As long as you keep it running most of the day. I just keep the battery running, on constant and turn it off every once in a while, but As you can see, I had a couple leaky rivets in this boat when I first bought it. So what I did was, this winter I drilled all of the leaking rivets out and replaced them with truss bolts, and put a little bit of the marine adhesive or silicone on there and pushed it through and screwed them down, and I haven't had a leak since. So if you're having problems with any kind of rivets leaking, you can just replace them with those and it works perfectly fine. I just drilled the holes out, put some silicone in there, and sealed them babies up, and there's no water leaking anytime soon. So close this up. All right. This deck here, the guy had one in here that I bought the boat from, but it was kind of just like I don't know, it was old and it was, you know, busted up wood. So I replaced it with a sheet of aluminum, and then just carpeted that to match. So that's perfect now too. And then these sideboards, this is light wood. I just carpeted those and put them on there just so you couldn't see any of the metal or the wiring on the sides. You know, it just looks better, I think, if you don't have any metal showing. But I have the Lowrance 7, same model I have up front, in the back on a ram mount. This one also has down scans, and it's the GPS chart plotter, 2D sonar with down scan. I have another power pole switch here. Then I have two storage bins back here. This side I just keep soft plastics and fire extinguisher, all my paperwork, an extra power pole, key fob, sunscreen, ibuprofen, scale, stuff like that. And then this one is the side that has all my tackle and stuff in. I can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Plano boxes, and then I have my terminal tackle here, and underneath of that's buzz baits, and then some line conditioner as well. And my power pole, or my GoPro. And then this piece here, this was from Walmart. It's just like a little cup holder. That way, you know, when I'm sitting here, somebody else is sitting there, you know, you have somewhere to put your drinks and store pliers and your scissors and everything else. And then I have another butt seat holder right here. And then right now I have my my onboard charger sitting out, but usually I just tuck it down in there because there's really no more room back there for me to mount it anywhere. Excuse me. So I have my gas tank back here. It's a 6-gallon gas tank. I have 1, 2, 3 batteries under here. 2 are for the trolling motor, and 1 is for my starting motor and my LEDs in the back. I have 2 more rigids right here. 1 here, 1 there. Also have the LED strips. Here's my power poles sitting back here because when I can't back it in the garage with them up, so it's easy. You just pull them out and set them down, and then you can pretty much back in anywhere. So that's that. And then here's my power poles. I have power pole micro, 1 here. Basically all it does, you just plug this in. That's run to my starting battery too, so that when I'm running, the alternator charges them, so I don't have to ever worry about losing power to them. But up, down, they're quiet. You can kind of hear up. And then basically when they're not in use, just unplug them. I have 1 here, and I have 1 over there. So I have 2 of them in the back. And then of course, my baby. This is my Yamaha hammer. 20 horsepower. That thing moves too for a 20. It's I did replace the prop, but that's about it. I mean, I do routine oil changes and lower unit changes on it, just because I probably, you know, I put 100 hours on it in no time. So it's like I definitely just want to keep the maintenance up and take good care of it. But I think that's pretty much about it for the inside. Oh, the back deck is I did this one out of wood because I couldn't find a piece of aluminum big enough to fit it. So I did do this out of wood. I'll probably eventually redo it in aluminum. But for now it works. You know, it does good. It looks good. And then I have a power box over there, which that controls my LEDs and my running lights if I ever turn them on. But with the LEDs, you don't really need them. So yeah, that's it. That's about all I got in it now. But it's come a long way. I mean, it definitely looks a lot better than it ever did, and I've spent a lot of work on here. Also have a ruler up front. It comes out, goes in for tournaments and stuff. But pretty sure that's it. So I'll just kind of take a tour around it, and hopefully you guys like it. It does the trick. It handles well. It's probably the best aluminum boat I've ever been in. So it does the trick. Definitely love this boat. So hopefully you guys saw everything you wanted to see. And if you have any questions, put them down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. All right, see you.